There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Member stream, probably decent amount of. Hello Loki. Loki wants to say hi to everybody, but I don't know if he's gonna make the jump right now. He just heard me talking to you guys. Yeah, now he's nudging my arm. But I hope you guys are all doing okay. Hey Starscream. Oh, Loki says hello. You can see his claws on my shoulder. I guess you can't see his head just yet. Oh, I moved my camera around, didn't I? Yeah, I know you want scratches. I just went on a walk with him a few minutes ago. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a treat, and then we can get started here. Today I'm just gonna be doing some normal work with you guys, mostly on stocks, I would say. And then after that, we might dive into crypto for a little bit. And then after that, maybe later on tonight, I'll have a regular stream with everybody on board. But I haven't been able to do a member stream because of the stuff I was doing down in Vegas. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to do a little member to me talk. You guys ask me any questions about options or stock plays that you guys are looking at, even diving deep into dividend plays if that's what you guys are looking at as well. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about dividend plays over the past few weeks just because of how bad the market looks like it may get in 2023 here, as we're already in a recession, but the formal recession that the media keeps on announcing is heading our way, right? And hey, I've gotten itch. Happy to see you back. I haven't had a member stream in a while, guys, so we'll see how this works out. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let loose. I'm just looking at a few different plays right now to see if I can find something I'm really excited about. The majority of the plays that I've been telling you guys this for a while, the majority of the plays that I've been happy about have been day trades in which I've just been setting alerts up. I've been resetting a bunch of my charts to get another perspective on it, but maybe if I have another chart that I haven't reset yet, like something like Microsoft, right? You can see I took a day trade here yesterday, and that's pretty much the only trade I did yesterday. Actually, I've been looking to find some ways to get a little bit of money out of the market here, but you can see there's been a lot of false signals due to, I would just call it, big economic news events like CPI data, federal interest rate hikes. So whenever we see these nice little breakouts, which this was supposed to be a nice breakout, you can see how that doesn't really go our way, and we still end up getting hit by some of those levels of resistances. But yeah, so the only play I really did yesterday was Microsoft, and you can see it bounced off of the Fibonacci level down here in the morning. So once we tanked in the morning, I took a small position on it just to see where it would go. And, I didn't even buy at the bottom here at 213. I bought like a 215 right up here, and I ended up selling on 219, 220. And you can see that was only like right up here, right at 219 right there. It was a pretty good opportunity for me to get out of the trade. Maybe I could show you this way. This is just a baby. I don't think I even did this yesterday, did I? Yeah, see, right around there, you can see that Fibonacci extension level to that one price target. All right, so hoping Microsoft continues to move up here, but those are the day trades I'm doing right now. On top of that, if you guys like other day trades, I thought about this trade, but I didn't do it because over the past few weeks, we've been seeing some really extreme volatility in the market as far as like the end of the day and at the beginning of the day. I didn't want to take that chance that it would just suddenly just dip out of nowhere because the technicals haven't been working out as much as I would like it to. So, yeah, so those are a couple plays that I was looking at. Yeah, or a play I was looking at yesterday, but I only did one trade, and it was probably the more risky of the trades. But I was like, come on, maybe we can bounce off of that Fibonacci level. Excuse me. And hey Puma, hey Bideford, hope you're doing well. And hey Starscream, UPST hit all-time lows on Friday. I'm thinking about starting to dollar cost average into it, but worried it can keep dipping. They also have earnings 11.8. When it comes to dollar cost averaging going into earnings, I'd be okay with starting the dollar cost averaging before earnings. You're not going to be putting a whole bunch of money into it, but you just talked about UPST upstart. I think this is just a general trend we're seeing with tech right now. We are seeing it come down quite dramatically. Like everything is pretty much having a rough time. Apple is just now showing weakness, and that's kind of been irritating folks. But let me kind of zoom out here. Probably let's start off with the weekly chart because we have talked about this before back when it was a little bit more prominent. But you can see once the breakdown happened, we just kept on going down. And maybe some of you guys were actually looking at this breakdown as well. Resistance, bounce back up. It's had a pretty rough time. Let me zoom out here. Yeah, we're just going down here, aren't we? All right, so let me just see. We're not even close to any decent breakouts. Like that's going to be a while. That's going to be oh, we did break out there, and we're testing that support right now, aren't we? But I don't really like that, putting that trend line there in the first place. Let me go into the main point here. Oh, jeez. I don't know why I always think of this as Finviz. So we click on the link and it actually will it'll bring you over to the website. There we go. Let's go to Finviz. Come on, there we go. Yeah, you can definitely see that gap down after a bad earnings report. All right, so they're still making money, which is good in this environment. If they were losing money, this would be going down a lot more. The short float seems pretty heavy on it, almost 40% short. Really, 40% short on this? I mean, this is just the music, but hold on a second here. So I'm gonna check out the website very fast because I own some of this, but I bought it a long time ago, and I'm probably like down 50%. This is something I bought on a YOLO a long time ago and hoping it would do well, but this is like back in. This is like, I think before this year, maybe months ago at least. Let me see what they actually do here. So loans, consolidate debt, refinance my car, something else. Yeah, so what people don't really, this is not what you might call a company that's gonna thrive during a high interest rate environment, okay? But let me go down here a little bit. Check your rate, instantly approved, most are. So funds, so they help you, okay, so pretty much they help you off with debt. People don't really have much money to do debt these days. They have an affiliate program, a store, contact us. Where's it at? Oh, the investor relations. Okay. Let's take a quick peek at it here. $8K, where be the 10K? It's no, we shouldn't even look at the 10K because the 10K was mostly about last year. Here we go, quarterly report. We'll look at the 10Q. This is posted in August. They kind of saw stuff was going wrong probably by this time. Okay, I was hoping it would stay on the page and I wouldn't have to open up a new window for you guys. Oh, you guys are not going to be able to see this at all. They really, I don't know why they always do it like this. Okay. We're not going to read the whole thing. We're just going to, I want to take a quick skim here. In thousands, not in millions. Okay, that's important. They don't have as much cash on hand, but it's not like it's a bunch. It's a little bit less cash. Loans, they've gathered more loans. Property, equipment, software, net, more of that. Operating lease of right use. So that's okay. Not okay. Goodwill, 67. Total assets are up, liabilities are up, payable to investors down, borrowings up. They're showing some signs of weakness here, so stockholders' equity. Okay, we don't have to worry about any of that crap. Cash, loans, value. Why are they borrowing so much more money? That's the concern here. Revenue from fees, so they're making more money. They're making more money. Sales and marketing going up. Oh, so they've been taking out loans. It feels like to do more marketing here. Engineering and product development up a little bit as well. Okay, so they're basically doing those basic investments to help out the company grow, but it seems like they're just not making as much money from the actual product that they sell to kind of pay for it themselves. Normally, you don't want to take out a loan if you don't have to. You're hoping that you're generating such a good amount of revenue that you can be using that revenue to invest in the company and continue to grow. It seems like they're not growing as fast as they want to, so they're still in that stage where they have to take out loans with interest they're going to have to pay off. And that seems to be the issue with them right now. So people aren't using their product as much as they would like. That's kind of the root of all this. We don't care about shares right now. I don't care about shares. I don't care about shares. Common stock now. Let's see. Net income. I'll start holding cash flows. Net income is down quite a bit. This is still in stock, okay. Accounts payable, they got more employees, it looks like. Purchase of loans held for investment, down. Oh, so they're losing money here, but not, it's going in the right direction. That's good. Okay, sorry to get too deep into it. I'd probably say you could start dollar cost averaging into it, but really you're not gonna be going too crazy here until probably after the earnings come out. I wouldn't be mad if somebody tried to start buying right now, but you can see last earnings right here. It jumped up a little bit. I would say their guidance is what's probably going to hurt the market, hurt their stock down the road here. Dollar cost averaging seems fine. It wouldn't be something I would want to be in dollar cost averaging into heavily, though. It seems like this company is going to have some problems, and this guidance is probably going to leave it in a bad spot from a technical perspective for like the next few months. But during those next few months, while it's going down, I would assume more, maybe even down to like $15, $10. Definitely drop down a little bit more, especially with, you can see when you guys see that. See this 37% short float? That's pretty freaking extreme. That's what concerns me right now. A lot of hedge funds out there are betting that this bad boy has to come down a lot more. When you can see that, you know, the debt isn't too bad, debt to equity isn't too bad, sales is growing, EPS next 5 years is growing, EPS next year is growing, margins are fantastic, 83% margins. Why everybody likes finance companies these days. Forward PE is positive. Let's see. Anybody selling off assets here? So September options exercise, September, November now, right? So they haven't been selling too much since then. When the price was back over here at 25 bucks, it's only at $19 now, so it's only gone down a little bit. I would say you could have some fun and go in here and start dollar cost averaging. Just know that if it does have good earnings, which I guess majority of people don't think there is going to be good earnings looking at that short float. If it does have good earnings, this is a very, very good short squeeze candidate. Not so much that I would really just be hopping on board on it, but you know, earnings play, I wouldn't mind spending $100 on a YOLO long here. This is just me personally talking. I wouldn't mind it at all. Maybe a $25 strike price call and see what happens from there. What I wanted to tell you guys very fast is the market cap still is pretty high at 1.5 billion. It's okay if that thing came back down to 1 billion or even in the hundreds of millions of market cap. That's why I said it can come back down to like $10, $15, etc. Let's see. And hey Puma, do I think about DKNG? Let's talk about that very fast. DKNG. Now, this is supposed to be the good time of year for them, and it's not really. It really hasn't ended up being a great time. This almost reminds me of Tesla a little bit over the past few months, just from the way the chart looks. How we had a nice little bounce, but then all of a sudden we're coming back down to those lows. I thought this might actually break down a while ago. It managed to have that big boom up as we kind of started off the football season here. Nice little football rally. Came back down. We've just been generally coming back down pretty slowly, actually. Not too bad. We had this weird false breakout here. Some news that I don't even want to say news. We've been having these problems with the market, and I've talked to you guys about this a little bit, but we've been having these problems where you can see a clear breakdown. Normally, this would be an awesome opportunity to do a short or an options play, but then we have to really scale down the time of how long we hold it, which is why I keep on telling you guys day trades or 1 or 2 day holds, because you guys can see here on the 15-minute chart, once we broke down, right, what happened? We were all over the place. So you could still have made money, but man, it was just so much harder to make that money when it happened. Let me go back over here to the daily chart. Their problem right now really isn't a technical one. They are headed for some nice support levels around $9.77. That's about $1.60 away from where we are now, okay? Percentage wise, that's maybe about 13%, 12%. Not too bad for a drop. I'd only buy it if it came down there, and I would only be considering it more for a dollar cost averaging technique for the long-term hold. They have a good CEO. I'm sure in the long run they're going to figure this out, but you're going to have to be a soldier and hold this bad boy through all the hard times that come ahead, because as the economy gets worse as far as recession and whatnot, people actually losing their jobs down the road next year, I don't think people are going to really be in the mood to be gambling crazily, especially when you're having the MGM casino really start to expand into sports betting. That's their main competitor right now. You already have like the Westgate sports books, but even out here in the Pacific Northwest, we have the an Emerald Queen casino right off the highway of I-5. A really big new casino. They just tore down the old casino and built up a new one. They have MGM there now. So MGM is actually now the sports betting people for the Native American casino. Some really big competitions going on here. But as far as what you're looking at, if you could buy this under $11, maybe $11.10, I'd be happy to try to play a bounce here, as the market will try to make a bounce through the end of the year. Be careful of this. Most of these plays that we talk about today, primarily when we actually hit CPI data next Thursday, we could see a lot of plays like this just get crushed even more, where they're breaking down below supports. And on top of that, we have to deal with the election coming up on Tuesday. It's just going to be kind of a wonky spot. But this kind of goes more for sports, which is kind of annoying. However, I would say it's still something I'd like to hold for the long term. I do hold a couple of maybe $200 of this for the long term at an average of like $14 or so. So I'm down right now. But again, long term play, dollar cost averaging into it. I think this would be a good long term play. Right now, I probably wouldn't be touching it unless it came back down a little bit more, so you could try to play this bounce. Let me see. Yeah, we're at. You can whine all you want, Loki. You just got it. You just came in from outside. Yeah, it was all the way up here in the 50s, 60s, and it's just been crashing ever since. Had an opportunity for some golden crosses here. If you want to take a 2-month trade and like maybe towards the end of 2022 this year, I'd be okay buying it under $12, $12 to $10, and then trying to ride it back up to at least $15, and then see how much further it can go past that if there is an end of the year rally. But I'd probably have a good stop loss set around that $9.77 level, just in case it decided to go back down a little bit more. But what are the shorts on this? Can't be as bad as 40% for UPST. They're 8%. Shorts are really going big right now, but you can see right now, see, they're losing a bunch of money, and the market cap is so much higher. They could definitely fall a lot more during this bad environment. They don't have as good. They have debt, but it's not too bad. But it is. You don't want to see that much debt on a company that's losing money like this. Target price, no. Haven't been selling in a while. That's good. Okay. I would probably say try to play a bounce, but besides that bounce, it's going to be kind of risky unless you want to go for that longer term hold or that 2-month hold, which kind of started like 5 days ago, I would say. We've seen a lot of plays crash like this, consolidate for a few weeks, and then start pumping back up, and that's why I would probably go for the 2-month hold if I was going to go for anything. I think I guess Netflix might be something that we saw that happen with, if I can find it. Excuse me. There it is. Where we had that initial drop off of that bad earnings report. We broke out after a good earnings report. Good time to buy. Started moving back up here. Another good earnings report and popped up a little bit more. And that's primarily because now Netflix has the ad revenue for their cheaper stream, I believe it is. And that's what the market wanted to hear. Plus that golden cross. You've seen all, the golden cross happened right here. That was another good indicator to buy. Oh, but we broke down below that support, didn't we? Fibonacci level was a pain to get back above, but when we did, that's awesome. Yeah, but I would say it's okay, but you want to wait a little bit until it comes back down a little bit lower. Hopefully, the market does allow it to come down a little bit lower, because you really should want to buy that like under $11. Okay, oh, you've seen a chip, okay. Let's see. There we go. And hey, Axel, what do I think about Apple? Do you think it'll fall? Well, it already has been falling compared to a lot of other stocks out there. So if we go over here to Apple, dropping down the last 4 or 5 days. Microsoft dropping down about the last 4 or 5 days, but Microsoft was green yesterday. Tesla kind of doing the same thing here. Amazon dropping down a little bit more. It just feels like tech in general needs to come down a little bit more. Maybe if I zoom out to the monthly chart. Let's zoom out here a little bit. You can see how Apple really hasn't fallen too much over the past few months. It's still been doing okay, right? Not too bad. maybe if we go to something like Microsoft, you see how Microsoft's fallen down even more. Tesla has started to fall down even more. Amazon has fallen down even more. MU fallen down more. Nvidia fallen down more. Oh, Nvidia, look at that pop. AMD falling down more. I think it has to. Okay, it's not going to be as bad as Meta. Meta is, yeah. But you can see how a lot of different assets out there have started to have a more of a downtrend over the past few months. Right, down, down, down. That's Intel, right? Down, down, down. Bank of America coming down a little bit. JP Morgan coming down a little bit. Visa still doing stagnating, but that's Visa. They're special. Macy's coming down a little bit, although Macy's still hasn't gone back up to those highs. Apple, I think, will start to have to make those moves. And I'm personally, at the end of all this, I'm hoping I can buy Apple like around $120, $115. That's really my target price of where I want to see Apple, where I really want to start buying Apple a little bit more aggressively. If the market really does take a little bit more of a downturn, we can go back in history a little bit. 2008, you can see how Apple kind of crept along for a while, but when it dumped, it really dumped. It dumped like 56% within 4 months or so. I don't think we're going to see anything drastic like that, where it drops like from here to like 60%. I don't think that's going to happen, or $60, excuse me. I think we're most likely just going to see it at worst come down towards $100. If it goes down below 100, oh my gosh, that'll be something you guys want to buy. But at the end of the day, go back up here to Apple. Apple has been the safe place to go if you want to get into tech. It's been that safe place to go. While you might see something more as a Tesla as more of an aggressive, high-risk place to go, but Tesla's been giving you really good gains. So is Apple, but Apple's kind of more older company, tested, tried and true. A lot more ways to make money besides just the cars for now. But you see that right there? Market cap, massive market cap, a lot of income. Short float is almost non-existent. There's just so much money pumped in right here. It is going to fall. You're probably just going to look for a nice traditional breakdown for that. But at this point, like, let me show you the few different levels you're going to be looking at. See, we're trying to hold that support right now. We don't have to worry about the breakouts for now. What's the best way to do this? I'll go back out to the weekly chart. Yeah, we can do this. Let's just do this. For Apple, at the end of the day, I think the best play you could do is just wait for the clusters to break down. So, there we go. See right down here, we have Fibonacci level around 123. I think we might even find a bounce off of that. But there's a whole bunch of different plays out here. If I can just find that one consistent spot to put this little line on. There you go. Got one down here at 123, one above at 129. We can go up here if we need to. Then I'm gonna have to go back a little bit further. I like stocks. You guys know I like stocks and crypto both, but I like stocks a lot just because you have like years and years of data to go back on. So you can see there's like a cluster over here of these red lines, pretty much between like I would say maybe 122 to 138. But if we go back down a little bit further in time, like back down to 2008, actually let's do the monthly chart. This is gonna get a lot of data here. All right. 2008 financial crisis, that's the big lows of the last, bear market. Comes all the way down here to $64. I don't think it's gonna get that bad personally. But if it did, I'd still be buying up, I guess. But yeah, I expect it to come back down at least to 120s. Hopefully down to the 100s, like the 100 to 120s is why I'd be more happy to buy this. This is gonna have to have a complete flush out though. You've seen other stocks have capitulation moments over the past few months. Apple hasn't had that. Let me go back over here for a second. Let's go to daily chart. You've seen these little drops and whatnot, but look at this. Apple dropped 27%, but what did it do right after that? It rallied up 37%. All right. It's been having a rough time of just flushing and people not buying back into it like crazy. So yeah, it's going to drop. It's going to come back down eventually. I'd probably be looking to buy this though around the 110, 115 level, and then dollar cost averaging from there. I just want to have one good lump buy to buy in here, and then as it continues to go back down towards 100, I'll continue to buy it up. Let's see. let's see. IDD'd at $100. Oh, okay, there you go. You're fine. What are your plans for the week? I mean, as far as trading is concerned, it's a lot of day trading here. I just showed you guys that Microsoft play from the other day. Oh, did I get rid of that? Oh, I did probably get rid of that. Why did I get rid of that? Okay, that's fine. It's a lot of day trading off of specific bounces. Oil plays have been what I've been looking at so far. So let me get rid of all this oil stuff here. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart. You can see, maybe I can do it that way. This general trend line right here, I'm hoping that we can smell something funny. There you go. If we break down below this downtrend sometime this week, I do want to open up a couple puts on Exxon for a couple bucks. Depends on when during the week does it, if we do break down below it. But I like to do maybe a day trade on it, probably not a swing trade. I don't feel like I want to be doing many swing trades right now. A couple other things I'm looking for is mostly just breakdowns. So this is PXD right now. This one's actually been falling down a little bit. I did a couple day trades on it a while ago. That day trade was mostly off of this breakdown right here. Or swing trade, I would say, on that one. Mostly just doing a bunch of day trades. Let me see if I can pull up some technicals for you guys. Nvidia has been something that's been ripping up constantly. You can see the bounce off of the Fibonacci level right here. Bounced, you know, and you can swing it for a little bit. Maybe as far as you guys would like, you guys might like Nvidia. What's the best way to play this right now? It's a little bit higher. Maybe we could do a play like this because we already did that breakout right there. We don't need that line anymore. We don't have to worry about that breakdown anymore. It's like these just really small trend lines because I don't trust the market to go into one trend for an extended period of time. So one thing you guys may be looking at is if we break down below this pretty aggressive trend line, you can see you want to wait for the daily breakdown, of course. Not even. Market, yeah, okay. You might be looking to do an options play on that one right there. Otherwise, going until tomorrow, it's gonna be Monday. Four-hour chart. It's so choppy. Let's do it that way. This is more of a scale out point though. Let's do this tool then. You're getting into a resistance level up here from an old, what is this? Oh, this is just pre-dividend? Oh, it must have been bad news that came. Oh, that was the bad news that came out. Yeah, we were trading options during that, I think. No. We traded options a while ago. I guess it was. Yeah, geez. 4-hour charts always confuse me a little bit, especially with stocks. Time frames, not the actual technicals. It can break above, let's say 148, 152. By that I mean the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. I'd be okay with doing a 156 option call, probably for the week, this Friday or the week after that. And just trying to do a 1 to 2 day trade as it tries to boost up from here. The concern being, of course, the CPI data coming out Thursday. I'm not too concerned about the election as far as tech is concerned with Nvidia. I'd like to see if I can get above that resistance level though, but you can see old resistance right there, some resistance up here. Maybe it might be better just to buy this actually Monday morning at open, as long as the market's not tanking, as long as we're still above this trend line. I might actually buy a 142 strike price call expiring this Friday and hold it at least to the end of the day, or hold it until Tuesday. Tuesday nights when all the votes are counted. We don't know everything what's going to happen in the election until maybe Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe Nvidia, I'd probably do some day trading on this. I'd prefer to hold it for less than a day, but if it kept on booming, I'd be okay scaling out about 50% of the calls that are probably 144 strike price, maybe 142 strike price, expiring this Friday, and see how that works out. But a lot of it's just day trading, and I'm waiting to see what happens on Monday, because you can see not all of these technicals are working out. This is Micron. Here's the weekly chart. You can see we've just kind of blasted through some of these support levels here. We're not even thinking about them. We've had a massive double top. The one thing that probably has worked is the double top here. Double top, break down, retest that resistance, and then come back down. That was pretty nice. At this point, though, I'm hoping Micron for next week. I want to see it go back up towards $60 or so, just basically from a weekly chart perspective. Break out above the 20 and move back up. I'm just waiting for that breakout to occur. But let me see if I can do this. Well, you guys can imagine the moving averages here. A golden cross just happened right here. I basically just want to see us break above that 57.38 level, and I want to see us make a move back up here towards 61, but most likely I'll be scaling out around 60. I'm not going to be in these trades for too long, guys. So a lot of small day trades. You guys can see that the support levels really aren't going to be too much of a help for you, even if I adjust it back over here to... Oh, it won't let me do it? Oh, okay. Sometimes it lets me move it back over to auto log. No? Extended hours is what I'm looking for right now. Oh, there it is. Okay, extended hours. There we go. As long as we stay above this line, I probably would want to be buying some Micron as well. There's some other stuff like Avgo, which has been having some really fun times of late. You can see that big bounce off of those lows we experienced. It looks like it wants to break above the 50 here, then have a cross coming into a couple weeks from now. I could see that being a factor as well. But I'm too cautious right now to actually do a lot of swing trading. A lot of what's been making me money is those simple bouncing plays off of those good levels of support. Right now, you can see there wasn't even too much of a support level down here for Avgo, Broadcom. I'm just more nervous about trading right now. But from a technical standpoint, let me see. Weekly chart. We still got a little bit more room to grow. Maybe 493 if you guys really wanted to go crazy with it. But earnings isn't until December. Well, it's an okay place to go. And hey, Can, what's your long-term analysis on Roblox? 2 years dollar cost averaging or not a good hold? For Roblox, I have some. I'm hoping they can do something good with the company. There's a few things here I guess we should talk about when it comes to Roblox. So that market cap is about $24 billion. It's a pretty hefty one, but you can see right underneath that market cap, they're not making money. So that's what concerns me about Roblox right now. The price is fairly cheap, but the market cap is pretty high if you ask me. You do have a decent short float over here of 7.5% or about that. I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this recession. We see this employee number get cut down from maybe 1,600 to 1,200 to 1,100, maybe even 1,000, if they're trying to trim down some fat, so to speak. Maybe more likely 1,200 or so. I don't think they need to fire too many people. Probably best to go into the data here. Hold on. Jeez. Hopefully they're making some good money after selling all these freaking assets off. Alright. If there's one thing that Facebook has to worry about, it's probably Roblox. I was hoping that Facebook might actually buy Roblox. That's one of the reasons I'm invested in Roblox right now. But I don't know if they are like a full-on buyout. Careers, no. Where the heck is their investor relations? Partners. No. Where is their investor relations? Oh, there it is. Company. There we go. Way at the bottom, hidden away. Press releases, shareholder letters. Let's try this one out first. No, I don't care about the shareholder letter. Never mind. Okay, press release is all we're gonna have to go for. But okay, quarterly results. It's good enough. I'm not gonna go trying to dive too deep in here. So revenue's up 30% over prior year to 591 million. So they're still growing. Strong year-over-year growth in daily active users and hours engaged, up 21% and 16% respectively. Growth across DAU, hours engaged in booking accelerated in July. Accelerated in July. Oh, that was people getting off from school. That makes sense. There we go. Okay. I just need data to look at. Reading is fun, but it's not data. Or it's data presented in a different way. They got a little bit more cash. Doesn't matter too much. Account net of allowances. Less money on the app though from people. That's interesting. Prepaid expenses of the current assets. Okay. Total current assets about the same. More equipment. Less assets. Goodwill. Okay. More donations out there. That's fine. And thousands. Okay. Okay, revenue's up. We talked about that already. Infrastructure trust. Loss from operations. Okay, so they're not really doing much in sales and marketing. A lot of it seems to be research and development. Kind of like what Facebook's going through, but like not to that severity, I would say. Infrastructure and trust and safety, developer exchange fees. Okay, so I would actually say this is fine for some dollar cost averaging. Now, go back over here to Roblox for a second. RBLX. And there was a breakdown. Yeah, we talked about these last two breakdowns and trading them. They provided some good profits here. But okay, here's the weekly chart. It's been building back up for a little bit of time here. You got a nice solid level of support. I think eventually during the next year, it is going to break down below that support. I think you may have another opportunity to buy it below 30 bucks before all said and done. However, I would still be okay with dollar cost averaging it down now. It looks like they continue to see some solid growth. They are spending a lot of their revenue and what they're taking their loans out and their debt. They're using that for research and development. And I don't know much about, like, I don't use Roblox, like, you know, the actual platform here. But it seems like it's growing. It seems like it's generating more revenue. So over time, I'm sure they will come to profitability and there'll be a solid project. So it's a good, solid long-term hold. But, and you know, if they were having like really bad issues with losing money and things like that, I'd be much more reserved. But it seems like they're just doing a responsible thing, is taking on debt to invest in making the platform better. And since they are growing and making more money, the growth is important. I think they're going to be able to pay off that debt down the road. And on top of that, the share price should go back up towards 100 bucks pretty easily once the market turns around, like pretty darn easily. It shouldn't be too hard for it to get back up here. 138 bucks, yeah. At least back up to, let me say that. Let me back up to the 80s or 90s or so. I think that's pretty reasonable for a stock like this. But I do think before that happens, it'll most likely come back down below 30 bucks. Maybe let's just say down below, below 30 bucks. Yeah, below 30 bucks here. You just want to see them continue to grow. What'll be interesting here, when is the earnings report? Wednesday, November 9th. That's Wednesday? Yeah. Wednesday, when they have earnings, is more about the forecast of what's going to be happening you know, in Q1 of 2023 or Q4 this quarter. I'd probably say the guidance won't be the best, but I'd probably wait till afterwards. I mean, if you're going to wait anyway, might as well just wait until after CPI data comes out, right? But, you know, a dollar cost averaging, sure, but long-term hold, I would feel pretty confident in this. It seems like the majority of the money, let me zoom in just a little bit more for you guys. Oh, that's a little bit too much, actually. Okay. So you see this cost of revenue to just paying employees, whatnot. Developer exchange fees, $143,000. That's not bad. This is different monetary amounts. This is all in thousands, except for share amounts audited. Okay, no, we're not talking about share amounts. But you can see right here, infrastructure. That's just kind of like the cloud and stuff like that. 158,000. That's not bad. Research and development though, 211,000. That's more than everything else on this list. General and administrative, that's not a problem. You have to pay for that. Sales and marketing, they're not marketing too much, but they are marketing more than they were last year, and that's good to see. That means they're allocating more money to that budget, even if not just enough. But that total cost is really a lot of that comes from the research and development. So you can see right here, loss from operations, 170. You cycle this down a little bit, and you're looking just fine. You're doing just fine. Interest income, 4,100. That's not bad. Interest expense, that's kind of bad, but that's it's expense. It's fine. Loss before taxes, yeah. Collateral net loss. Something else here. Cash flows, net loss, yes. Counts, yeah. Exchange life. See, most of these aren't really, this isn't enough to really dent much in the company, right? It's reasonable. I would say the only thing that's probably going to tick you off as a shareholder is the fact that shares are being used to pay employees probably, or pay some of the higher ups in the company. And that's why when you go over here to the bottom of the page, you see them dumping off tons and tons of shares, right? $22 million worth. The president and CEO back in August sold off, selling off millions and millions of dollars worth of shares. That's what it seems a lot of the share money is going towards, but overall, it doesn't look that bad. The company is in good health. It should survive this recession pretty easily. The stock will get some downturns, but I still think it's an okay opportunity for you to buy for the long term. I'd probably wait a little bit longer for that, but you could always see an earnings surprise, which may be fun for a trade. Fubo? I haven't looked at Fubo in I don't know, maybe a week or so, but maybe 2 weeks. I'm gonna zoom out on this one. This one's a pretty interesting story. It's been coming down slowly for a while now. I do think this should be fine in the long run, but it's just been having some issues as of late. You guys could see, when is this? Since November of 2021, it's really just been coming down fairly hard. Let me go from like last year. This is basically like last year. It came down about 94%. Now it's only down about 90%. I think this will probably go back down below $3 fairly soon, or by soon I mean next couple quarters. On the daily chart though, if you're looking for maybe more of a day trade, probably looking to hold up a little bit of support here, but I'm guessing earnings already came out then. Surprise, it lost. It was a surprise on the downside. Has this been priced into the market yet? Let me go to earnings. Yeah, okay. It's still trying to hold support here though. Uh, 4 hour, okay. It already broke down of all the support levels too. Had a breakout, didn't really do too well. From a technical standpoint, I probably it's so low in value that I probably wouldn't be wanting to buy options on it or even shorting it. Let me check out the. Let's just go up there faster. Okay, there we go. Wonder what the short float on this bad boy is though. 26%. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it's getting pummeled pretty badly. There's the reason. Yeah. It's not making money. It's losing money, and the market cap is only 628 million. A lot of debt on the company too. They've been growing though. That's good. Sales is up. That's good. Okay, I'd probably say this is probably something you could dollar cost average into perhaps, but I really think at the end of the day, a company like this is probably just going to be acquired by another company, and then this is going to be like a foundation for them to build off of for their product, which they're going to improve. Just looking at the main website, and I've looked at this a few times, it seems fine, but maybe it's just my anti like cable mentality. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't watch cable anymore. I watch maybe Fox News, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business, CNN, Bloomberg. Maybe a couple of the local channels like 5 for like my local news every now and again. But I don't actually pay for cable. If you guys could see my monitor right here, I have something running on my TV right now, and it's a 4K video. 4K video on my 4K TV, okay? Let me just maneuver. You guys won't be able to see because it's not in focus. Let's see if I can show that to you guys very fast. Right? So that's running on my TV right now. And that is free internet cable built into my TV. And it has like cool 300, 400 channels. I think that's the future of like this free cable system built into TVs. I don't necessarily think it's going to be the way we're trying to do all this new streaming stuff or trying to format cable in a different way. I like if there was one true product where I could choose everything I wanted to watch, only what I wanted to watch, that'd be awesome. But I don't think the cable network system is there just yet. So I'd probably say this is something I would put a bet on. I would want to see how it would turn out. But short term, you're going to try to play the bounce. Longer term, it's a one-time investment, probably under $3. You're just going to hold it and see what happens with it. That's mostly what I'm going to be checking out. Sorry, Loki's over here trying to be a little butt. I'm gonna give him I got treats for you over here. Yeah, I got treats for you. Yeah. Dude's clawing up my nice new shirt. Okay, there we go. But yeah, you want to play the bounce here. There's no question about that. You could even be looking for a shorter term breakout here as far as this is concerned. All right. But at the end of the day, man, it just had a bad earnings report. It was a surprise on the downside as well. I don't know if this type of cable is the future. Live sports and TV without cable. Live and on-demand cloud DVR included. But I just, like, I don't know. I don't know if my generation, this is what we want to be buying right now. Like, I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. I don't watch Saturday Night Live. I don't watch 60 Minutes. I watch Yellowstone, but I think that's I get that on the Paramount app, right? The Voice, don't watch that. Don't watch The Walking Dead. I feel like that's on Netflix. It seems like you don't have to get this. You'd be perfectly fine without it. Golf and stuff, I get that on my TV. Maybe not the Premier League and Major League Baseball, but I get some good stuff off of it. I don't know. Whenever they have a sports package that's just sports, like, all Major League Baseball, all football, all hockey, all whatever, you can break it up into tennis, whatever you guys want to do. That's what I want to invest in. I just don't know if this is going to be a solid long-term hold. I think I already bought some of this a long time ago. If I did, I'm probably losing on it, right? I might have bought it like way over here. But I'd be careful with it. I'd be careful with it as a long-term bet. Short-term, play the bounce and hope that it doesn't break down below 327. If it breaks down below there and closes down below it, it'll most likely start heading back towards 250 or so. Yeah, no worries, Starscream. Happy to help you out. Crypto FOMO kicking in. Top must be in soon. Yeah, I mean, we haven't even talked about crypto yet. Let me go back over here to Bitcoin. We still didn't reach that level, I don't think. I haven't had a chance to look at it so much today. No, we still didn't get that opportunity to hit up here around 21,500 like I thought. We were just like a few bucks less than it. Let's go back over to 4. We want to continue to move on here, guys. We want to, over the next 16 hours, I think in like 4-hour increments here, we do want to have a pretty good surge here. We just had a golden cross with a 20 cross above 50. I'm hoping that launches up just a little bit more to at least test out this 21,684 level, most likely 21,700 level. I would like to see us at least test that out. Even if we're going to get rejected, I would like us to do that. And we're going over here, you guys. Loki's over here playing with toys. There you go. Because what I don't want to see happen is us, what I showed you guys yesterday, I don't want to see us just do the full-on woo like that. That'd be devastating. After finally being able to break out, we almost broke down below the 20. If we would have just gone like maybe 1 to 2 more days sideways, we would have been breaking down, heading for support and trying to bounce there, which would have been a little more difficult, right? But right now, we have momentum on our side. We just need to continue the momentum here. We really need to see the Bitcoin surge up. We had the golden cross on the daily. The 4-hour, though, just had another golden cross. I'm hoping that will continue to move us up. I just don't want to be too close to the 200 moving average here, because once that thing starts to climb, it's really a race to see how high we can get up before it catches up. Because once it starts catching up, right, then we start having the issues afterwards. When's the last time I actually caught up? Like right here, right? Caught up. There you go. Even this one's a little bit scary, but that was after the June lows. Yeah. We don't want to see something like that happen, because once we start breaking down below that, the trends ultimately change. Then we're kind of back into that sideways momentum, and then we got to worry about this trend line down here. I mean, I really think in the next 8 hours, you know, before we all go to bed tonight, I think we need to have a pretty strong showing from Bitcoin surging back up to at least 21,700, preferably up to 22,000, so we could actually just break above this, and then we can actually have a consolidation moment, and then try to move up a little bit higher. I really don't want to get knocked down from this. You can see, I don't know if this is the right one. Do I have log on? There you go. This is more accurate, I would say. We didn't get a chance to break out above it. Got knocked down. This one's actually at 21,920 looking at this method. So we actually want to get up to $21,920. That's what we want to see that next move up. And I think it's possible, guys. I think it's possible. We're in a nice little good uptrend here. We're just at that point where we're not looking at some of these smaller moves for Bitcoin. We're relying on some of these, like these larger whales to kind of help us out. We haven't checked out any of these whales, I don't think, in a minute here. Let me get rid of all this excess status stuff. Change the music up a little bit. The smooth jazz isn't as smooth as I would like it to be. Acoustic? I haven't had acoustic in a while. I was going to do something, but I forgot what it was. Ah, okay. Whale number 3. So whale number 3 has been selling a little bit today or yesterday, it looks like. Hasn't these last 2 sells, I don't think they did much. So here's 1026. Let me just zoom out a little bit for you guys. He sold some right here. We did take a dump, a short dump, but it wasn't that big of a deal, right? He just sold off at a Fibonacci extension level. That's what I teach you guys. He's not doing anything crazy there. But from that high to that low, we fell like 3%. Maybe he expects us to just have a little bit of a top like this and then come back down, right? Let's hope that's not the case though. But he did sell some off to yesterday, which means technically today would be the bad day though, and today's hasn't been that bad of a day. Last one he sold besides that is 10.5. Let me just go back here a little bit, see what happened on 10.5. 10.5, we should start a downtrend there. I hope he's wrong on this one, guys. But whale number 3 seems to be giving us more of a bearish view of the market at this point in time. And what did I say? Like 9 out of 10 times the guy is right. The market does come down after he sells. Maybe that's just a superstition the market's kind of built into itself right now. But if I'm not really looking to short Bitcoin too much unless we run into this $21,900 level, or we actually run into this, we break down below this trend line right here, this red one. Let me change it to different colors so you guys can see a little bit easier. Yellow? Yeah, there we go, yellow. There you go. Until we break down below that level, because then we'll most likely be heading back down towards, 19,000, 19,005, and I'd be perfectly okay with that. Short day trade opportunity, maybe a short-term swing trade if it really takes a while to get down there. See, can you do some 2+ EOT on Bitfarm? Don't even think I've actually looked at Bitfarm before. Monthly charts. Oh man, this thing wants to dump, doesn't it? We're not going to have a good Fibonacci extension until after this breakdown occurs, which is probably going to happen over the next few months. But I mean, let's see what we can do here. I mean, we can even go weekly chart. Let me take off the side stuff here. Hold on one second. I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to let Loki upstairs. He wants to go upstairs for some reason. Maybe somebody's visiting or something. They're just upstairs. So let me just let him upstairs. I'll be right back. Right back. All right. Well, I don't think he had to. I let the door open to upstairs, and he just kind of looked at me like he wanted to go outside. I'll take him outside in a little bit, but we were just outside for like an hour or so. 1 week chart. We had the breakout there. That was fine. The breakdown right there. That started it all. Also breakdown right there. All right. We'll do the simple thing for you right now. This is just so you can actually have a couple numbers if you want to check them out. Okay, the high was right there. And oh yeah, we're just now starting to break down here, aren't we? We held it for like a good 3 weeks. That's a pretty good string. Looks like the next stop may be somewhere down here around 50 cents. We've only been down below $1 for a few weeks now, so we shouldn't be hit by a warning from the Nasdaq. This is not, yeah, Nasdaq. Okay, so your next big stop, it looks like over the next few months, is probably going to be about 50 cents, which is like almost half of the value here, so be careful with it. But that's only for the next few months, not the next couple of years. And the one thing I'll tell you right here, which normally we don't talk about, because normally we're not talking about stocks that are this cheap. But as far as Bitfarms is concerned, when you have a stock that gets down below $1 for too long, normally it's in a low market cap and it has losing a bunch of money here, a bunch of money. Normally what happens here is, do I see anything right now? No, okay, you're probably not gonna see it for this. I'll just explain it. It'll be hit with a warning from the Nasdaq saying it needs to go back into compliance, and that means that it's gonna have to get back above $1. When that happens, you're gonna see them do a split, which means they're gonna shrink the amount of shares on the open market. Which means if they had 1 million shares out, it'll probably be a 4-to-1 split or an 8-to-1 split, which means at the end of the day, you know, those 1 million shares get turned into 250,000 shares, which means there's less supply, the value goes up, and they kind of change the dollar amount there. What happens with that, though, is then there is not enough stock in the market. So what they do is they have to do an offering of which they kind of just sell shares onto the market, and that the price tends to continue to drop and drop and drop. And that's not what you want to see going from them, even if it only happens 1 time or 2 times. I think we talked about tops before, top ships. You know, this thing has been falling forever, and it's been doing that time after time after time. You can go over here on the day chart. You'll see this thing, like the little S split. A split, a 1-to-20 split. Afterwards, you normally have some pretty nice rallies because everybody's squeezing it, all the shorts cop out and whatnot. So it's a great opportunity if you guys like to day trade it. But for long term, right? Split, it dropped down for a while, then it managed to pop up, but it never got back up to this high before here split. So you don't want to get stuck in this pattern here where it keeps on going down, 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 compliance, offering, because then you as a shareholder, you know, like if you bought this in February of 2018, let's just say, yeah, right around here, January, February 2018, January 9th, 2018, okay. And let's just say, let's go right over here. January, you know, after all that time, you're down like 64%. If you go into where we are now, you're down like 99.98%. And that's what you got to be very careful about them. They're going to be hit with a compliance warning pretty soon. And that's going to tell them they have to find a way to get their stock back up above $1. And it has to get back above $1. Otherwise, it's going to be delisted and it's only going to be available to be traded over the counter. You don't want to be over the counter in the markets. It's just not the place to be. But let me go back over here. But as far as long term, I mean, here, we can talk about that. So you know that we've already managed to break down. We're heading back to 50 cents most likely for that for this asset. Weekly, there wasn't much volume over here, but let's see what we can do with it. We got the highs over here. We got the lows over here. We can go with the lows first because the highs really aren't going to matter too much at this point. But let's give it a shot. So let's do a couple things. Let's put out a trend line over here. And let's do this at the good old 45-degree angle. Let's plop up one of these GAN fans. We broke down, came down, we went back up, we tested it out, got rejected, and now we're breaking down again. You might find some support before that 50-cent mark, somewhere around here on 75 cents. You can see we actually tried for a few weeks to actually get back above, and we just weren't able to do that. Valiant effort, though, I would say. It's trying, right? Because Bitcoin isn't just dropping as fast as this stock is. If things get really, really bad, maybe it comes down to 43 cents. If it goes down below 43 cents, I figured that would be kind of extreme just because the market cap is so small. The market cap is like, what, 500 million, I think it was? No, 200 million? Yeah. That means we're going down to like under $100 million market cap, which could happen, but man, like you don't want to see that happen at all. All right, let's try one more thing here on the downward side that we can pop up some Fibonacci circles, and you might be able to time a pivot. But I honestly think the pivot is going to happen with Bitcoin pivoting, not necessarily where like the Fib circles tell you it might pivot. Okay, so let's do this. We'll do two things, actually, two things more for this one. Negative 45. Let's see if this actually has an impact. I just don't know. At this point, my brain isn't working good enough to tell me if it would actually hit anything. I mean, what? It worked out for a little bit. Not a little bit. Oh yeah. This one doesn't seem as nice as the other one. Primarily, I think just because we've been falling so fast. So whoever had this from over here, false breakout, resistance right there. I don't like this one as much. I probably wouldn't use it. There's probably something better that will show up down the road. But right now, this doesn't look like something that I'd really want to be using for the GAN fan levels. All right, let me try one thing over here very fast. So we just did a GAN fan level over here. Let me add that back on. In fact, let me just do a whole bunch of reversing. Make my life a lot easier. Maybe if I could, I guess we have to try two different ways here. The highs, no, that high. We had a pivot up there at that point in time. There's a no pivot. Yeah, it's not going to work on this one. It's just, we got to rely on Bitcoin, it looks like. Long term, this thing could be in some danger. It could really be going back down, like getting like a stock split nightmare. So be careful with it. The way I look at these types of plays is almost the same way I look at cryptocurrency plays. It's a $200 million market cap. Plot 50 bucks into it and see where it goes. But if it doesn't go anywhere, no harm done to you. Right? I mean, you lose 50 bucks, but it's not, you know, I wouldn't be investing a lot of money in this. If they were finding a way to make money, awesome. But they're still losing money. They're losing like half their market cap, you know, not good. I mean, they're selling, but the profit is just not where it needs to be right now for them to be trusted as a long-term, you know, holder of your assets. I'd be cautious about them. And hey, I've got an itch. Does anyone think it's odd that the Dow has led this rally? It's because what's been getting hit hardest over the past few weeks has been tech and Tesla and things of that nature. So let me go over here to YouTube. Maybe go back over here to, oh, wrong one. YouTube breakouts. Tesla's been getting hit hard over the past few weeks. You guys can see that. Amazon over here on the NASDAQ getting hit hard over the past few weeks. MU, no, MU is not too big of a market cap. What is it? There it is, Meta. Meta, NASDAQ been getting hit really hard over the last few weeks. All these are weighted more heavily on those two exchanges. The Dow isn't really tech. So that's one of the reasons it hasn't been going down as much. In fact, well, like maybe the NASDAQ and the SPY were down one day, you'd see the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones Industrial just kind of popping off. it's just the stocks that weigh the most on these indexes. It's been bad luck for the S&P 500. It's been very, very bad luck for the Nasdaq. Nasdaq has just been getting annihilated. And by weight, I mean total market cap weight of the index. So the index is made up of a certain market cap of the totality of the stocks in it. Well, if Amazon, which has a massive market cap, is getting hit like 20% down, that's going to weigh down a lot more than if a small startup with like 500 million got hit by 20%. That money moving out of the market is has a much greater impact, I would say, if that makes sense. Over the counter is where stocks go to die. It's true. You can make some money over there, but it's risky. I've only traded over the counter stocks maybe once in the last year, and I made like 60%, jumped off, and just never looked back. It's very hard to make money over there. It's usually figuring out which coin or which stock is about to be pumped and then just riding the wave. Ethereum. Let's go over here very fast. I'm rooting for Ethereum simply because, so this is the weekly chart. We've already broken out above the weekly moving average, which we've done a couple times here. We're just having trouble with that Fibonacci extension level. So let's go over to the daily chart. All right above it. It's our level of support right now, actually. We're just trying to break above the 200 weekly moving average. If it happens today or tomorrow, whatever, but we should have a pretty nice spike up to at least like, 1700 right up here. 1765, which would be a jump of about, from where we are now, about a good 8%. I really want to see Ethereum do that, and then we can actually have a golden cross coming up pretty soon. That could see us go back up to retest some of these local highs of around 2,000 bucks. That'd be the dream scenario for me going into this Thursday before CPI data hits. I'd like to see the market continue to kind of rally up here. The election will kind of cause some chaos. That's fine. CPI data is where all this good stuff can kind of start looking pretty bad. But I really just want to, like, we have a nice support, a nice resistance. Let's just make sure we break out, because we've already broken out above both of these things. We've broken down below that Fibonacci level, but we've also broken out above the 200 daily moving average. We just need to find a way to really get going. So let me go over to the 15-minute chart, and let's go to auto here. And let's hide the 20 and the 50, and let's make this go over here to the daily. We're so close. And usually when you're looking at this, as far as Ethereum is concerned, you're buying at these lower levels, and you're just waiting for a random pop to take us off to the promised land, which is kind of hard because it'll continue to probably go sideways and maybe even down a little bit before making that big pop. I would just say today we don't want to break down below and close down below this level. And that level, the actual precise number is going to be $1,628 on the Ethereum Tether US one-day Binance chart. So this is Tether to Ethereum, not USD to Tether. Okay, not USD to Ethereum. So we want to close above it. That's our main goal here. We really just want to close above this, and then if it takes till tomorrow for us to pop, who cares? It'll be a nice pop. Ethereum is geared up and ready to go. It's just being very lazy about how it wants to go there right now. I really, really want to see this make a big pop up. Like, my price target right now probably close to 1,700 to 2,000. I really want to see it make a good amount of money. And then if we go over here very fast, let me move this over again. Let's go back to the chart. Back up here to the daily charts. A simple 5x leverage play. 5x leverage play. If you bought today or whatever, if it just goes back up to resistance, which kind of matches up with this resistance level from September 11th, 9%. Let's just say you only make 8%. You get old 8 times 4. What did I say? 5%. Excuse me. 8 times 5. That's 40. 40% profit for probably holding less than 24 hours. Solid win. Even if you're taking away 35% out of that, maybe you just want to wait a little bit. Don't want to wait as long. Still a solid play right there. Assuming that we manage to move up, of course. And if we do make it to that promised land of back up here towards $2,000, that's about a 24-25% profit. If it gets back up there with the 5x leverage play, you're looking at 125% profit, which would be very, very nice. And of course, you might scale out 10% here, 20% here, then the rest up here, or 50% here, 20% here, 30% here. You never know. So you guys can mix and match that up as you please. Again, just for Ethereum, you're just making sure we don't break down below that level. That's it. We break down below this, bad times. But we are pretty far away from that line right now. I would say actually for you people that are watching it like every minute of it, let's probably go over to the 1 hour chart and draw that trend line here. All right, let's go over here. I guess it must be this one now. I have to go to the 4 hour one. Did we already break down below it? We did break down below it. It had a big short squeeze there as well. Ah, man, that was a risky play though. Okay. Really? Okay. Yeah, then I would say this trend line down here around $1,400. We don't want to break down below that. I guess in the ultra short term, I don't want to talk about this one too much. We want to be in this flag. Even if we're forced to come back down, I would hope we have a way to surge, but I really don't want to see us break down. This is the 4 hour chart, but I really want to see us basically just do this. Whew, make a move. Are we hitting any short-term levels? Oh yeah, we got close to the 1 target level up here. Some resistance. Not too much resistance around here though. 15 minute. No, not much right here. Not much right here. A little bit right there. A little bit right there. Not much there. A little bit up here. A little bit over here. It's not being too much of a pain for us right now. Those longer term ones have much more power to them. Oh, did I just mess up and delete something I shouldn't have? Yeah, I did. Okay. There you go. But yeah, Ethereum's ready to pump up and go. I just hope it can really make that next move up and just not go back into this longer consolidation. Because the longer we stay in here, if you kind of zoom out, then we start looking at another type of wedge. And then, you know, that's something we usually break down out of. And I don't want to see that. I want to see us continue to move up and break out at a faster clip, basically. It's right here. And hey, Michael. Just tuning in. What do you think about? Are we going higher? Going to go up higher? It seems like a lot of the assets do want to go up higher right now. Just be careful because we normally do have these nice run-ups going into CPI data on Thursday, and then we also have to worry about the election on Tuesday. So this week is just going to be incredibly volatile. There's one piece of news I'm missing that I think happens on Friday. I'll try to figure out what that is sometime tomorrow, whatnot. We're kind of set up. A lot of these assets are set up to go even higher. But yeah, I would only be holding this for a short amount of time personally, doing a lot of day trades with leverage or just day trades with no leverage. If you guys like to trade some more, some of those coins that move up a little bit more, like right now, AXS is up 8%, FTM is up 5%, Sol is up 9%. Anything else up quite a bit right now? Not much from on my charts here. But you know, we can definitely take that next move up here. Because yesterday we broke out above a lot of different resistance levels for ourselves. Ethereum broke out above its own Fibonacci resistance. Bitcoin did the same thing. I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to take that surge back up here towards $22,000, and I know Ethereum will probably pop up like 7 to 8% just off of that. But I hate being patient. But yeah, it looks like we want to do another run, at least going into tomorrow. Monday we might have a more of a pullback, and I would say Tuesdays where things get a little bit more choppy. Wednesday gives you false relief. Thursday we might crash. Then Friday we're just like continuing. As we'll try to stabilize after that. But that Thursday crash is really just assuming that we're gonna have higher than expected inflation data. I hope it's not higher than expectations. That'd be really that would suck. Because you saw what happened last time, right? It just wasn't good. And hey, Michael, can I look at DocuSign ticker Docu? Yeah. Didn't they have a pretty good earnings report? I think I saw it on CNBC, but I'm not entirely sure. Nope, must have not been them. When did they have earnings? Nope. When was that company? Okay, I'll figure it out later. I use DocuSign a lot with contracts, a lot. So I know corporate America is using it, but probably not as much as they enough to keep up the valuation. Jeez. Let's go to the weekly chart. Oh, wow. Yeah. What a story. I mean, man. Pandemic brought it to life. The end of the pandemic killed it. Now it's kind of just back to the valuation where it started. It's probably even making more money, but it's just getting hit so hard. Monthly version of this. And they say stocks aren't crypto, I swear. This thing is down from the all-time highs. 87%. That's more than Bitcoin is. Wow. All right, let's see. Let's see what we can find out here. We're still stuck in this general downtrend. You might have a buying opportunity, I would say, over the next few days, even at $40.86, which is the current price. I still think it'd be an okay opportunity to try to play a bounce here. So, like, you know, just a little bit of a bounce. It may consolidate for a while, then eventually move back up towards $45 or so. But you're going to be looking for a profit of around $3 to $7 a share, I would say. I'm going to average of $5 a share here. But this thing is kind of stuck in a really bad mood. Like, you know, the market wasn't actually too bad yesterday, but this thing still found a way to drop down like 4%. I would try to play the bounce off of the support levels down here, but after that, I'd be very cautious as we hit into earnings, because even though they beat earnings last quarter, look at that, they beat it. Oh, can you guys see that? They beat earnings, but then they proceeded to just keep on coming down here. They are not being traded with the same valuation as they once were. And what I mean by that is a lot of companies are like, you know, it's trading at 20. You probably hear people on Fox Business, CNBC, Bloomberg, 20 times earnings, 30 times earnings, 50 times earnings, yada yada yada. I don't think they'd be giving they're not being given that chance. Like the amount of earnings that are being traded by seems to be going down quite dramatically here. As far as the company is concerned, I do think it's a good company. I think it's managed properly. Let me go over here very fast and see DocuSign. But they're just in that little bit of a rut. See, $8 billion market cap. They're only losing $100 million. That's not a lot when a company that market cap size. A short float of around 9%. Margin is fantastic. Operating margin has been going down. That's not good. Profit margin's down a little bit. That's not good. But it's only down like 4%. That's you could attribute that to inflation, right? 7,500 employees kind of concerns me. I wonder what they're doing with all that, but they probably have other stuff besides DocuSign, which I use to kind of help out their customers. But man, a lot of options being exercised but not being sold. The last time options were sold or shares were sold were back in April. That's good. They were selling them at $110. Now they're afraid to sell them because they're not making nearly as much money for those shares. They got plenty of volume. Volatility, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, short term, I would try to play the bounce. Long term, I would try to wait for a breakout here. When that breakout occurs, you can see that 200 daily moving average creeping back down. I think it'd be a good opportunity to see that reversal, and this thing could really start popping back up to at least like the $80 range here. Months and months and months away, of course, but it can do that. I mean, when's the last time we had a golden cross between the 50 and the 200? Way back over here. Last time between the 20 and the 200. Way over here. Yeah. I would say it's definitely on the watch list. If you can buy under $40, that'd be fine. And then try to play the bounce over here for the next 2 to 3 weeks, right? If you're going to try to play this trend, but don't be surprised if it does something like this, kind of a bounce sideways, then it pops off towards the end. You're probably going to be have to hold this for a while. Otherwise, what you're going to try to do is probably find a pattern within this downward wedge. Downward wedge or downward channel, you can kind of determine what you think it is. You know, you're going to be looking for a general breakout here, and you could be trading that for a couple days. But right now, it looks like the closest thing you're going to have to a good buying opportunity is going to be playing off of the support level right here. Maybe if you're lucky, you know, breaking out above this $46 resistance and then trying to go back up here towards $54 or so. That might be okay, but right now it seems like, yeah, this thing is definitely going down for the foreseeable future, but you can trade the waves to make some good money. Options can be good, especially if you want to open some puts. I'd open up puts towards the top, calls in the bottom. Although I would say calls, you can see that they don't always work out in your favor, which is why I'd be more happy with shares here. But calls a month out, $45 strike price, maybe $50 strike price. Now let's go break it in between like $48 strike price max. 2 to 3 weeks away from now, that's what I'd be going for. But I just want to be making that trade right now, primarily because of the election, midterms on Tuesday, which are just going to be a big news event, as you guys know. Everybody wants to talk about politics. And CPI data coming out 5:30 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday, which is just going to be a hard nut to crack for a lot of us out there. Let me get rid of all of that stuff here. I mean, let me just go back over here very fast. I don't even know if this is going to be relevant, but let me just see if we go back a little bit more in time. An old school Fibonacci level. I mean, yeah, we've already broken down below all that, haven't we? Man. Yeah. This thing really just, I mean, it's not its fault. People just like had dumb money they just tossed in there. But this COVID rally, I mean, it pumped up around like 575%. That's insane. But yeah, I'd be careful with it for sure. But if you could play that bounce off of like the $40, $38 range, I think you'd be good. Well, and Bitcoin's been doing something while we've been gone. A little bit of a turnaround, a tiny, tiny bit. See, and hey, I've got an itch. There's no way inflation has come down at all over the past month. So it's not even if it's come down at this point. I mean, a little bit, yes, but it just seems like the big moves that happen when we get those CPI numbers, it's been primarily, we've been talking about, like, is it overestimated or underestimated? So is it worse? Like, was the CPI number worse than expectations? Hotter than expectations is like that guy on CBC will always say. Or was it cooler than expectations? Which means, was it better than expected or worse than expected? To kind of boil it down there. But yeah, I haven't felt that prices have come down. But you know what? We'll have to see here. Like, we normally look at gas prices because that's something we can check out. It's hard for us to kind of compare grocery prices across the United States. But like gas is just a teeny bit more expensive today than it was yesterday. So let me go over here very fast. Right, so a week ago it was $3.76. Yesterday it was $3.79.2. Today it's $3.79.7. It's moving up bit by bit by bit here. But a month ago it was $3.83. So like in the last month it really hasn't changed at all. But I think we're going off the last month's data here, so it probably should go up because remember, guys. How do I do this? How do I go from the last few months? There's a way to do this. Do this. Let me just go to Washington here since I'm from Washington. No. I thought there was a page on this this website that let me go from like last month, the month before that, the month before that, but I guess it doesn't let me do that. See, I'm in Pierce County. We're chill. We're at 484. King County's at 512. Sonoma is 46. Over here 445. Nice and cheap on the sides. Skagit County 449. San Juan, the islands, yeah. But it just doesn't feel like inflation's gone down, but maybe they've been able to help out the expectations a little bit. But I would be happy to see it anywhere under 8%. If it's above 8%, I think the Federal Reserve still has the ability to say full steam ahead, another 75 basis point interest rate hike on in December. Now, I think they're probably moving towards a 50 basis point rate hike in December, honestly. But if inflation is still proving to be very sticky, I wouldn't hold it against them for just doing another 75. But I think they're talking themselves into doing a 50. You saw how weird that announcement was for the Fed on a couple days ago. They put out the notice saying, "Hey, we're going to start thinking about some other stuff," and the market correctly took that as like a, "Oh my gosh, he's changing his mind." But then, you know, reality had to sit in for a couple seconds. Is like I told you guys, wait a couple minutes. You know, they're not going to like what he has to say because he's been very hawkish as he comes out to talk to the news and press for his, you know, press conferences. But yeah, it's I don't think it's gone down a lot at all here. I'd be happy though if it got finally down below 8%. But CPI numbers come out after the election, so it's not going to really do much for this election cycle here, but it will do a lot for the stock market. We're too close to going below, but I'm totally optimistic. I like your positive outlook too. Let's see. Are we going to talk about possible cryptos that are due for breakouts this evening? Either tonight or tomorrow. I got to figure out what Loki wants first, but yeah. Right now, most of the breakouts are pretty easy to spot. So when it comes like to a Bitcoin, what are you doing? We're just looking for a continuation of the breakout we've already seen. We've already had that golden cross here. Normally, that would still be like, hey, I'm still willing to buy, and I'm hoping that by the end of this rally, as long as the CPI data doesn't kill it, we get back up to at least 22,000, if not close to $25,000. I would love maybe the 200 weekly moving, the 200 daily moving average is a better thing to be looking for, but I still think we can at least make it up towards $23,000 on this rally as long as CPI data doesn't kill it or some really weird stock market move doesn't kill it. Okay, go over here to Ethereum. We're just looking to break out above that 200 daily moving average. If that happens, we can start surging back up to 1750, all the way up here towards 1900, which would be amazing for us. Ethereum Classic, 200 daily moving average. That's what we're looking for. We just broke out above the 50-day moving average. I like that a lot. Dogecoin, still choosing to consolidate. We had a short-term breakdown right here, and you can see now we've had to adjust our charts a little bit. So if you guys took that day trade, nice little breakdown, pop down. Oh, this isn't the exact one. I guess I'd have to change it a little bit. Okay, we don't have to worry about this one. We're talking about something else now. Go back to the daily chart. There we go. We're just trying to hold this general trend line and make a little bit of a bounce where we can start breaking out back above 16.1667 cents. This is going to require Elon doing something, but we did just break out here a few minutes ago, so that's kind of nice. You can see we tried to break it earlier, got smashed back down, starting to maneuver back up a little bit. I think Dogecoin has an opportunity. It's just trying to make that last-ditch effort not to have the golden, the death cross right here and start tilting back over down to around 10 cents or so. We don't want to see that happen. ADA still pumping up from before. Just managed to break out above a Fibonacci level right here. Let's go to the daily chart. What is this? What is this Fibonacci level even from? Oh, this is long term. So we managed to break back above it though. ADA. I don't know. This is would have been one of my least favorite coins to be watching as of late because we wanted to watch those old breakdown plays. But even ADA managed to break down below the June lows. I really thought some of the stronger coins would be able to not do that. ADA is one of those coins where I'm starting to be concerned where if it's going to be in the top like 20 by like this time next year, maybe it'll be in the top 50 or something like that. But it seems like it's losing some love in the market environment right now. STMX, I'm just waiting for a pop. You guys know that. Sol already had a big move. It's heading up towards a level of resistance we haven't seen for a minute. But this broke out a while ago. Right. Broke out, retested, blasted off. Right now with this, I'd probably just be looking at the Fib extension levels here. Nice and classic. Right. Hit the one target. Hit the one price target. 50-minute chart. Yeah, got resistance, tried to break out. It did break out, but now just come back down a little bit here. I mean, that was a monster surge, though. Resistance right here. Tried, yeah. Has Matic done anything? No, Matic's given up a lot of the gains we saw yesterday here. Breakdown short. Breakout buy, yeah. Most of these ended up just being really good 1 or 2 day trades. I guess this one was an okay opportunity here. Was this log off or something? Yeah. Finally got the breakout, retested, then kind of blasted off. We just talked about that with another player. And we're heading up here towards a level of resistance from a few months ago. Not so much over there. So Matic could be in a tough spot here pretty soon, but it still looks like it can surge up a little bit. Doge on Mars. Probably have to zoom into this one, shouldn't we? Get rid of this old line. Still consolidating, waiting for a golden cross. XRP looking to pop up sometime soon. Yeah. A lot of stuff is basically just waiting for the clearance to go, but most of it, like even Bitcoin Cash, it's, you know, a lot of it's already broken out. And we're just waiting for it to continue moving up here pretty soon. Litecoin still pumping up. That's good to see. Ape coins up a little bit. We talked about this yesterday. Heading back up probably towards $6.70, hopefully. And hey, Bedford, I use DocuSign almost every day, but there are two programs doing the same thing and for cheaper for corporate America, and realtors are moving to one of the others. That makes sense. If it's cheap and it works, it's fine. I do mine with my clients, and I'm like, yeah, it's nice and easy. You just send it over, and they just have a signature built in. You know, they make my signature on there. Yeah, I like it. And again, are we expecting a pop from STMX? I'm hoping for one, but I don't know if it's actually going to occur. So I would say the chance of it happening maybe is 60%. So I think it is going to happen, but I can't say for certain. Like, oh my gosh, you guys should buy because it's going to happen. Basically, what I want to see over the next few days here, as long as we don't tank and or anything like that going into CPI data, I would like to see, let me get this out of the way. I would like to see the golden cross to occur first with the 20 and the 50 on the daily charts. And then over the next week, I think we can easily get the 20 back above the 200 here, leading us to a spike at least back up to a penny. A penny is my current price target here, but I know it's going to be a little bit challenging to get there. So it's going to be one of those things where basically the way I would recommend, if you guys do have any STMX and you'd like to go along with my play as far as like pop, sell the pop, sell the pop, sell the pop, you're usually just going to put a line on here. Like you guys know I have a bunch of different drop down menus. You guys could do it on your main one or a side one. I recommend doing the side one because your chart looks pretty ugly when you do it like this. But you just want to have it up here around 10 cents, right? And you just want to do a right hand click and you want to do add alert on horizontal line. And then you want to do it only once, crossing up, right? And then you just want to see a horizontal line, and then the expiration date is going to be, open-ended. Yeah, probably just open-ended. And then alert name, STMX breakout above 10 cent. Sell now. Something like that. STMX breakout above 10 cent sell now. That way you know to go straight to whatever exchange you have your STMX on and you just sell it. And then what you do is you either hold that as, you take the profit if you want to, or you use that profit that you made to buy more STMX coins for the next time. And that's what I've been doing personally, but to each their own. Some people just want to make money right now, and that's a-okay. The economy is like, inflation has forced people to spend way more money than they want to. But yeah, so that's kind of my strategy right now. You could also adjust this so to be like 9 cents, 8 cents if you want to. Personally, I wouldn't go down below 8 cents because you gotta worry about 7 cents, and 7 cents is below the current price. But 9 cents, sure. 10 cents, the most reasonable for me. And you don't have to sell 100% of your STMX at 10 cents. You could just go to your computer, watch the charts, sell half at 10 cents, sell the rest of it if it jumps up to like 11. Not 10 cents. If it jumps up to a penny. And if it jumps up to like maybe 0.001, 0.011, 0.011, so to speak, then you could sell the rest of it off. You have your opportunities here, but that alert will get you back to your desk really fast. So if you want to have one at 9, then 10, then 11, you can kind of move that around if you want to. What exchange am I selling my STMX to? I think it's on KuCoin, I believe. Whatever exchange I have it on. So for you, it might be different than me, but if you guys haven't bought an STMX and you guys did want to go there, I don't hold it in an offline wallet because I do this pattern. And again, it only has a $73 million market cap, people. It is not that big. It is a smaller play. It is a long-term play for me. KuCoin, FTX. I don't have it on Uniswap. Gate.io could be interesting. BitGet, Femex, if you guys have Femex. Trying to think of the ones that I know that I've talked about here on the channel. These are the ones I don't know any of them. DigiFinex, I don't know this. Nominex, Pionex, I don't talk about these. Upbit, CoinDX, no. Yeah, but those are the places where I have a little bit. Primarily, I would say KuCoin and BitGet, and I don't know. Does BitGet really have it? I don't think I've seen it on BitGet. I don't think I've tried to buy it on there. I guess I just haven't looked. But you know, Gate.io is something I have. I'm just now getting into it though. In Binance US, Binance US. I wouldn't sell at Binance though. But yeah, I'm rooting for at least 9 cents, but I'm really just hoping to sell a lot of it off at 10 cents and see if it goes up a little bit higher. Not 10 cents, jeez, I keep on saying that. A penny. This spike got all the way up here to almost 2 cents, but this was on Binance. So normally I would say Binance US. Because not every exchange will have the pop, I guess I would say, right? But I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen on KuCoin before, so that's why I'm thinking KuCoin probably. Yeah. Okay, I'll see all of you guys a little bit later on tonight if I can. If not, you guys will see me streaming tomorrow. Normally I like to take the weekends off, but I know I haven't been able to do a good video for you members out there in a while, so I appreciate you guys for watching. Keep an eye on a lot of your positions today. I don't think this is the day you have to be glued to your computers 24/7, but I do think it is a day where, like most, you do want to have some alerts set on TradingView. That way you guys can, you know, be alerted to any changes in the market. I think you're going to see a lot of stuff that is primed to go up. Ethereum is probably the easiest thing you guys can trade right now. It's just solid. It's just waiting to break out above that 200 daily moving average, right? Literally what we're waiting on, just to break out above that. And I think you have a good opportunity to surge up a little bit higher, okay? This is probably my favorite play for it now. I am waiting for it. I haven't bought any, but if I start to see that surge happen, you'll start to see the volume start to pick up a little bit later on. That's what I'm looking for. And if it pops up a little bit, cool. But I'm probably gonna have a you know, something like a general trend line right here to say, hey, Michael, come back and watch, see what happens. If we break out above that, that'd be a signal for me to take a small position with a stop loss probably down here around 1600. And that means that if this trade didn't go my way with a 5x leverage, let's say I took a trade like right here, if it broke out next half an hour or so, or a few hours, I'd be losing about 1.87. Let's just round that up to 2% times 5 with a 5x leverage. I'd be losing about 10% of my trade, okay? And if it does manage to make its way back up to that resistance level, I'm going to be making about what, 2.71%, you know, maybe close to like 15% or something like that. I'm not good at math, but yeah, close to 15%, like 12-13%. I'm okay with that. But the whole reason for me buying it though is really not to really just sell it right here. That's not what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that I can get a surge up to the next Fibonacci extension level, somewhere up here around $1,760, which would really end up giving me about like a 40% profit. So I'm risking 10% to make 40%, pushing the edge kind of, but that's where I'd like to see Ethereum go over the next 24 to 48 hours. And I'd probably make that trade if we manage to break out, but I am risking 10% losses here in order to make about 40%, or maybe 30% if we're looking like we see a little bit of weakness before we actually approach that level, okay? But okay, buddy, have a great rest of your day, and thank you very much, JR Samples. I really do appreciate it.